Hi all, today I'm going to explain about deployment in Pega. Deployment is the process of migrating the code from one environment to other environment. Deployment plays a crucial role in successful go live of the application. Deployment involves three steps: creating and configuring a product rule, extracting the zip archive, importing the zip archive into the target environment. Product rule. What is meant by the product rule? Why it is playing a crucial role in successful deployment in uh, this. I mean, like product rule contains rule instances and data instances. Thus, rule instances and data instances are developed by developers. So the Pega contains the source code. The source code is nothing but the rule instances and the data instances packaged in this product rule. And once this is packaged, a zip archive will be extracted. The zip archive extracted will be deployed into the target environments. The other name for the zip archive is, it's called as a compressed jar file. Jar compression or zip archive, also known as the jar file. This jar file will be used for deploying the code into the other environments. Like we are loading a van for shifting the luggage from one place to other place. Similar way, we are also loading the zip archive to shift the rules from one environment to other environment. So the product rule will create the zip archive. And I'm speaking about oftenly environments, target environments, and different kinds of wordings about the environments I'm speaking. That is where we are trying to deploy the code. What is the environment? There are different kinds of the environments used by the different teams for different purposes. I mean, developers will use the dev environment for developing the code and unit testing the code. Testers will use the QAT environment for testing the code developed by the developers. UAT environment, business users will test the code tested by the testers. Pre-prod environment will be used by the performance testing team to do the load testing. Once load testing sign-off is completed, the code will be deployed into the production environment where the end users will test the code with the real live data, with the actual live data. And before I'm going to explain about the this product rule, I'm going to explain what is this application. Uh, I want to explain the basic terminologies, application, rule set, all these basic terminologies I would like to explain about. Application. Application contains rule sets, versions, rule instances, and data instances. I would like to compare this application, what I'm speaking about in the real time, with the PhonePe application. If you take this PhonePe application, if you want to make the transactions, like transferring the amount from one account to another account, or doing the recharge of the bills, or paying the electricity bills, or paying the mobile bills, or paying the DTV recharges, for all these transactions you are doing successfully, just because backend some rules are executed successfully. How these rules are executing, how this rules execution happening in the production, just because these rules are already tested in the lower environments by different teams. These rules are migrated from that environments to the production environment by the help of the product rule. The migration taken place with the help of the zip archive. The zip archive is being prepared by the product rule. Indirectly, product rule is playing a crucial role in successful deploying of the application, successful deployment of the application, successful running of the application. Successful deployment of the rules will help in executing the application successfully in the live environment. And next, I would like to go into the other terminology called as rule set. Rule set is known as container. It's called as a container. It is container. Why I have called it? It is a related group of rules are available in this container. So this container of rules is available in the rule set. For example, I want to compare this container to an albums in the real-time example. What is this album? Songs album. All group of songs will be available in this album. There will be multiple songs will be there, but there are related to a group, and this group of songs related to each other are placed in an album. And I would like to explain about next terminology, non-version rules. Non-version rules. These rules are belong to a rule set but doesn't have any rule set version. These are inherited from the rule hyphen classes. Examples of non-version rules are class, rule set name, rule set version, application, and access rules to the objects, access deny. And what is associated data instances? Before explaining about the associated data instances, I would like to explain somewhat more detailedly about non-version rules. Just now I had told you that non-version rules are the instances that are inherited from rule hyphen classes, and they are belonging to a rule set but doesn't belongs to rule set name. I will take class name, class or application. I'll take application. This is also one kind of non-version rule. This is inherited from the rule hyphen class, and they belongs to rule set but doesn't have any rule set version mapped here. You can see that there is no rule set version mapped here. So this one, you can take it in one example. Another example is the class. Class also is a non-version rule. It is having the rule set but doesn't have any rule set version. But there is a version column here, but this is not a real version column. What is required for this mapping? This version and that version is different. There is no version for this. This is non-version rule. So associated data instances. There is another terminology I would like to explain about is associated data instances. This is also similar to non-version rules. This is inheriting from data hyphen classes. They also belongs to a rule set but doesn't belongs to any rule set version. They don't have any rule set version. And the examples of the this associated data instances is operator ID, access group, work basket, and the respective class names is data admin operator ID, data admin work basket, data admin operator access group. Manual product rule creation. Generally, we can create a product rule with two ways. One way is through wizard, other way is through manually. Just you can go to the records explorer and go to the sysadmin, click on create, click on product, create, and it will ask you to provide two parameters. One parameter is name of the product rule, other parameter is the product version. This is label is this is a unique identifier of the product. So you can give something like rems, and product version is to control the versioning of the product. You can mention like this with a number 01.01.01. You can increment the number also. With the same name also you can have multiple version numbers. These two will form an unique key. So that way the product rule is being identified. So once this is been created, this will contains 4 tabs. Product rule contains 4 tabs. One tab is contents tab. If you go to the product rule contains 4 tabs: contents tab, dependencies tab, deployment tab, history tab. Almost all the configuration will be providing in the contents tab only. Will not provide any configuration in the dependencies and deployment. This is a rare situation. Still now, whatever I have time, I have worked in my projects. I never has given any configurations in this dependencies and deployment tab. Just to show to you folks, I have given some information. I would like to explain. Just I have given one configuration here. Just I'll not even give it this configuration also in the real time. All configurations I'll provide in the contents tab only. So I would like to explain about a high level view of the product rule. First, high level view is if you want to deploy your entire application and its associated instances to the higher environments, we'll use these applications to include section. Here we'll maintain the application name and also we'll mention the application version. There are chances that application contains multiple versions. Which version to be deployed to the higher environments depends on which version number you are providing. So if you see this, if I click on down arrow, there will be two versions available here. 010101, 010102. I would like to deploy only 010101 because this is having, I need all these rule sets to be deployed into the higher environments. So I am planning to deploy that application related rule sets. So I'm using this application and its associated data instances. So to move this associated data instances, I will check these checkboxes. If I want to move the production rule sets, I'll check these checkboxes. I'll explain briefly more detailedly about in the next part, second part video, which is going to come in some time. But I'll explain a complete overview of this. Then I'll come and explain more detailedly about each and every configuration of this. Next one is rule sets to include section. This section can be used for deployment of the entire application and its associated instances to the higher environments. Just we don't need to alone use this section. We can also use this section for deploying the entire application and its associated instances to the higher environments. So you go to this, I have created another product rule where I have mentioned only the rule sets to be included. I didn't mention the applications because I want already an application being mapped in this rule set. So I want that rule set to be included. So I don't need to provide again the applications to include section. So I have provided here. I can provide the minimum version and maximum version. Minimum version is a place where there are minimum rule starts and the maximum version will be there till how many rules, till what version I need to take the rules. Minimum version contains 2 rules and the maximum version contains 3 rules. Totally 5 rules can be deployed to the higher environments. Next one is there is a checkbox called as exclude non-version checkbox. What this checkbox will do? This checkbox will helps to you to pick the non-version rules which are inherited from the rule hyphen classes and are belonging to a rule set but doesn't belong to a rule set version, which is belonging to this rule set only will be included if you don't check this checkbox. If you check this checkbox, you can see that name itself indicate that exclude. You don't include the non-version rules. That is, don't include the class, don't include the application, don't include the access rules to the object, don't include the access deny. All this will be happening if we check this checkbox. You should not check this checkbox if you want to move the rule hyphen classes related non-version rules. That is class, application name, application version. And the app context will get auto-populated. I'll explain again about it more detailedly. Just I'm giving high-level overview of this. Just you want to deploy entire application also you can deploy. Just give the rule set name where the application belongs to. If you have still any query where the application belongs to, just click on preview product rule. It gives information about the rule sets, the applications belonging to that rule set. If you go to that rule set, click on non-version rules, click on non-version rules, it will provide 2 applications. One is 010101, 010102. 2 applications are included here. 2 applications are included here. And coming to this global exclusion. Global exclusion is if you don't want to include non-version rules to be deployed. Just because you have unchecked this checkbox, all the non-version rules will be deployed into the higher environment of that particular rule set. To avoid that, just you can enable the checkbox. It will not allow that rules to be deployed. When you uncheck the checkbox only, then only rules will get deployed. So if you see this, I'm checking I have unchecked the checkbox application class rule set version. So if you go and preview the product rule, you can see this non-version rules of that rule set. Totally application, rule, class, rule set name, version. 4 checkboxes are unchecked. 4 related category rules has been retrieved. Class is having 23 rules. Application is having 2 rules. Rule set name is having 1 rule. Rule set version is 2 rules. So if you see here, how many checkboxes are unchecked here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't consider this. Under this packaging only, this complete things comes into the picture. This complete non-version rules complete this picture for this particular packaging. Just it's for naming convention. No need to worry. Under this, which rules are there? Application class, rule set, or rule set version. I checked this checkbox. These these rules also will not be deployed to the higher environments. If you have still a question, please go and click on the preview product rule. The non-version rules, that is class application, will not be picked. So if you see this, there is no non-version column. Only the rules which are available in the particular rule set are mentioned here. No non-version, no rule obj class, no rule obj application name, no rule obj access role to the object, no rule access deny. All these instances will not be available here. So when I uncheck this checkbox, if I want to deploy only class rule set version, if I click on save, if I go and click on preview product rule, if I click on the renewable reset, you can see that a non-versioned separate one header is available. It is showing the 3 checkboxes what I have unchecked in the global exclusion, which is including the non-version rules, class, rule set name, rule set version. These 3 checkboxes only I have unchecked in the global exclusion section. These are getting included here. And the next one is class instances to include. If you want to deploy uh, work cases or the data records, you can use this particular class and you can deploy into the higher environments. So if you see this class instances to include, I'm unchecking the include descendant classes. I don't want to include the descendant classes. So there will be no child classes. So there are no instances for that particular work class. So that's why this is blank. This application or framework data, this is blank here. So if I click on the include descendants, to include the descendants means include the child classes. That particular child class is, there is another class, I'll show you. This will appear here. The child class is, for that worker class is REI request. It is having 14 instances that will be taken, that will be packed into this product rule. We are trying to pack it into this product rule. This will get deployed into the target environments. So 14 instances of the child classes are being included. Just because the 14 instances are there for the child class, it will be included. Even if I include this descendant class, if I don't, I don't want to, what I mean to say is, I don't want this child classes instances to be included. Even I click on the include descendant check box, you can see that product rule instances, the data instances will not be included here. In the application or framework data, the class instances of that data instances, I mean like records, you can say that records of that particular class will not be included. Records of the particular child class will not be included. Because why I'm saying is I have marked that to exclude the class, this class. If there are multiple classes are there, just you can go to that and add a comma and add a separate class. You can add whatever the class, another class is there. But currently, I don't have any possibility to add multiple classes because this particular worker class is having only one child. One children is there for this particular worker class. So it is showing only one child here. Okay. And if you want to select the PZ keys, you can just give the class name and get the PZ keys of that class. Or you can use, you can directly go to that particular rule and take the PZ key. You can use this here. So for example, you can go and click on this, you can query it. You can get multiple instances which are available under particular class. So I can query it. I can take the PZ case of this and I can select that and I can automatically this gets added into this section. Otherwise, Otherwise, what you can do is you can go to that particular rule, take the pgdins key actions, view xml, control f, pgdins key, take this pgdins key and add it into the product rule, add it into the product rule, add it into the product rule. So here how we have done it. Select the jar files to include. You can add custom jar files, like PowerPoint generated jar file will be there, or barcode scanner jar files. Any jar files, custom Java classes will be there. That Java files used to be used can be used here. Or otherwise, this is an optional one. You can directly import that jar file into the target environment instead of using this section. This is an optional one. It's not a mandatory thing. Okay, and you can provide the date on which particular this is I have provided the today's date, the date on which the deployment rule has been created, and also there is a checkbox called as which will allows the unlocked rule set versions. Currently, I am developing the rules in a version, in a rule set version which is not locked. I didn't lock it, but this is not a good practice to unlock it. You have to lock it. Just for my personal instance, I am doing the development in that environment. And you can use this button to preview what are the file instances which are getting packed in this particular product rule. Just now I shown you what are the here you can see the rule set versions for that application. All this information we will be available in this rule set version area. You can see how we got this all these rule set stacks. I never mentioned this rule set information anywhere in the product rule. Just because I have mentioned the applications, application contains this all the rule sets: DOE, DOE, INT, renewable, renewable, INT. So just because I have mentioned in the application rule set stack, this information is available in this particular product rule. This is this also this but all rule sets also will get packed and will be deployed into the higher environments. And this I told you already that this is like a work instances, and the data records which are available in that particular tables also will get included. Here you can see the data instances, data energy, data partner, data state. I didn't added anywhere these tables at all. I didn't provided any PGDNS keys, or I didn't added anywhere that information. Energy partner, where I got it. Just because I have enabled this checkbox, that information is there. If if I uncheck this checkbox, that information will not be there. If you go and see in the preview product rule, if you go and see in this class, still this is information is there. Data energy, data partner, data state. How this information is coming here? Even and uncheck the checkbox, just because it is they include associated data instances are related to the operator ID instances. These are non-version rules belonging to a rule set, not belongs to a rule set version, but they are inherited from the data item classes. Just because I enable the checkbox include data types, that instances are coming here. So if I uncheck the checkbox related to the data types, this is data tables, state table, all these are coming here. Now I unchecked the checkbox. Let's see whether it is coming here or not. Unchecked the checkbox. Gone and see this here in the class DOE REMS work. Only this is there. So what happens is it is not there. It is not showing there. If I go and add this checkbox, what will happens? It will be added in this checkbox, preview product rule. So we have spoken more about it. Just I will go jump into another point. This is, you can simply remember this. If you include the data types in the applications to include section, all the data types of that particular application we will be added into this product rule. If you don't include the data types, that will not be included into the product rule. Okay, just that is a thumb rule you have to remember. Data types, the name itself indicates that adding the data types of the application. And coming to this, you can create a product rule, and when you click on OK, it will prepare a zip archive, that is nothing but the jar file. A compressed zip file or jar file will be prepared, you can click on this download. It will get downloaded. So here you can see that this is getting download. One download in process. One download is completed. You can use it to import into the target environments and use these elements for successful running of the application in the production. The successful deployment will happen once this zip archive is imported into the target environment. So totally 4, 13, 14, 13, 46 records are exported. Now we have to import it. I'll explain it in another video how to import that records into that Pega environment. And in the next video, I'm planning to explain about this section. What is this include associated data instances? What is this include associated data instances in the rule set to include section? What is the basic difference? All these checkboxes I'll speak more in detail in the next video. Thank you for all listening to this. It will coming in the part 2 in the next video.